Here comes the bride, or not. I mean, did any of us really expect Quinn to get married tonight? We're talking Scandal Season 7, Episode 6, Vampires and Bloodsuckers, right after this.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin? Nothing. You ain't scaring nothing. Okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin? Nothing.
We'll throw back Thursday.
Shoulder.
I'm so white. I can't.
Yes.
You're rocking it out.
That's great.
We would be proud. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Scandal after show. Your Scandal squad is here as per usual. Full panel in tonight. I'm your host, Christine Alexis. You guys can find me on social media at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
You guys can find me on all social media at Tessa _Cevaal.
Hey guys, I'm Parris Rose. You can find me on all social media at Parris Rose with 2 R's and on Twitter at Parris Rose TV.
Yes, and I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram and on Facebook at Miss Jessica Williams.
Dope.
Hey,
y'all.
what's up?
It's TGIT Thursday.
Yes.
Everyone had a good week, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Long one.
Yeah.
Long one.
Been waiting for this day.
I know.
I'm like, what's gonna happen next?
Most important day of the week.
Right, Thursday, TGIT.
I know. It's a big TGIT tonight, too.
Yes.
Grey's Anatomy has its 300th episode tonight. Yeah. How to Get Away with Murder continues to get away with murder.
Yeah, so good. I'm really into
But
that
that's a
this
good-
season.
yeah,
like, it's
me
so
too.
good. Yeah.
Cool.
Love it.
And, you know, Scandal, we were supposed to have a wedding tonight, but that did not happen.
So you asked who actually thought Quinn was going to get married? I did.
Oh, did you really?
I was like, this is going to be beautiful.
Oh. Listeners, did you guys think that Quinn and Charlie were going to get married tonight? Like, let us know in the live chat right now. And if you're listening right now in the live chat, what's up? Thank you for joining us.
Yes, and special shout out. I was cracking up before we went live because Kimberly Mayfield, she was like, okay, but what happened tonight? Because she's on the West Coast with us. And, you know, it's just now airing. She's like, but I have to watch these guys live. So thank you for watching us without even watching the show.
Oh, you're the sweetest.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
there will
hopefully
be.
we do it justice. Yeah.
Yeah, there will be spoilers, but, you know, good thing about it is, you know, it's going to go right back up on YouTube when we're done. You can watch this over, mull it over, watch the episode over, and join us again. So,
Yes.
And by the way, if you haven't heard already, AfterBuzz has reformatted their YouTube page, so you can find us and all good drama content on AfterBuzz TV Drama. That's our channel. So if you want to find us and other old episodes, catch up because we're gonna have a hiatus soon, so you're gonna want to get caught up. But
soon, like next week. It's
like
the
next
winter
week.
finale.
like
That's crazy.
I know, it came so quick. Well, we discussed this when we first started this season, that it was only like 16 episodes.
I believe it's 18.
18, okay.
So yeah, it's quick. I mean, guys, don't forget we're pulling up on Thanksgiving like real quick. Time is flying.
No, that's super true.
Yeah, but in the context of where we're at this week, the way the episode started was pretty much a catalyst for the way the episode went. We open to the first scene where Mellie is very visibly shaken by the news of the plane bombing, rather. It's not really a crash. I'm inclined to say that, but it's not. The plane bombing that killed President Rashad and his niece. And we find out just shortly after that it was Jake and Liv behind the bombing. And we all, I think, collectively were like,
Yeah.
no.
What did we think? Because we were talking about who could have been behind this bombing. I don't remember what we were saying last week. Do you guys remember who we thought was it? Did anyone think that Olivia was behind it?
I thought it was Papa Pope.
I did
Right,
too.
yeah,
I did
yeah.
I
too.
thought it was Papa
Yeah.
Pope. He may still be mingled and mixed into the situation one way or another. But honestly, this whole Olivia idea came up. I was reading the comments from our video last week, and one of our viewers, Malika Banerjee, she literally was like, I think it was Olivia. And I'm like, ooh, yes, girl. Like, I agree. And that was kind of mind-blowing reading that, because I never thought Olivia.
I
And
know,
I
I didn't either.
didn't think Olivia, yeah.
I didn't either.
I didn't think Olivia at all. Maybe I'm just like getting really naive, or just Shonda's tricks are just flying over my head. But I really didn't think it was her. I thought this was classic Papa Pope. finding his little in. I thought he would probably use that as like leverage to like be in the inner circle, like, hey, I took this person out, I'm still powerful. Insert, raging monologue here.
Right.
Yelling, always yelling.
Julian Chat said she was shook.
Girl, I feel that.
You and I both.
Yeah.
Carmen Williams also says wedding will probably happen, but in Shonda Rhimes fashion, drama must happen first.
Yeah.
I like the way she worded that. Drama must happen.
I was kind of surprised though that they revealed it was Olivia and Jake so early.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, that instant playback. I would have preferred when Olivia was talking to Quinn at the tower, that when Quinn went into that whole like, you did it, like how could you stand here and you did it, and then she's like, what? And then she accuses her, and then Liv acts like she didn't do it, and then it drifted to the flashback to give us a moment of wonder, to give us pause, because we didn't know it was her.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like when they give us pause and they didn't. They just gave it to us.
I think with this episode, they took the opposite approach of like, we'll give it to you, and then we'll make the entire episode about whether or not everyone is gonna find out, which it kind of put me on edge towards the end. It was I was getting actually more impatient. Like, okay, what, like, either can you find out that it's her or can we find her? And then the episode kind of left us with nothing.
Exactly.
At least they did that. And I was thinking about this, just, how we've kind of had the same feeling this season, like it kind of started a little slow, and it's like, what's happening? This is the last season, it should be big. But honestly, I think that because season 6, they had given us a murder, and it was a real mystery. No one knew who shot Frankie. So every week we were putting things together and like bouncing off of one another. So it was exciting. So this season, I felt a little glimmer of that in this episode, but I'm like, that's why we've been feeling kind of mixed about this season.
Yeah, actually, I was going to bring this up later, but we can kind of talk about it a little bit now. I mentioned before the show started that there was a TV Guide article that I read earlier today saying that Shonda Rhimes actually had plans to end the series at the end of season 6 with President Mellie Grant being sworn in. It was going to be at her inauguration, and that was kind of just going to be where she left it. So season 7 is, not only more work for these actors, but a treat for us. We get more, but it kind of makes me think just like how we've been feeling about this season, how we're not sure where the vibe is going. I'm wondering if like, is all this writing just like an afterthought? Are they like really reaching with these storylines? What do you think, Parris?
Well, why do you know why they made a season 7? Is it because fans were really upset, or did they say?
She just felt like there was still more to be told. I have to look back at the article. She didn't give too much about that, but she just said actually it was supposed to end there.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll find out when we go to that the Vulture Festival.
Yes, that's
next
exciting.
Saturday.
But yeah, I'm kind of thinking what you were thinking, that actually makes a little bit more sense. I can forgive Shonda a little bit more because it does seem kind of last minute thrown together. I hope you guys like it. And normally it's like so thought provoking and you're like, questioning yourself. This time I'm just like, I don't even really care to find out the answer. It's not grabbing at my emotions enough for me to care. So.
Well, and I was saying this earlier, it's just so like boom, 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 boom. It's like it almost doesn't give you a chance to breathe. Like I felt like this whole episode I kept like holding my breath because I was like, is she gonna find out? No. Okay. And she like it was like there wasn't this like oh snap moment at the end like there usually is.
Yeah.
So, I like the pace. I appreciated it because for once I'm like, okay, and it's like you had to keep up, and I wanted to scream at moments, and I'm like, I'm grabbing the people next to me. I'm like, guys, wait, stop that. So yeah, that kind of gives me a little adrenaline.
Yeah. I mean, there are elements that definitely obviously have us on the edge of our seat. It's funny. I feel bad. Some weeks we're like, oh, this is so boring. Other weeks we're like, it's too much. I'm sorry,
We're
Shonda.
never content.
I know.
We're never content, but you still love us and make content for us anyway. So.
But real quick though, just to comment on what Christine was alluding to, next week we are going to the Vulture Festival here in LA, and it's going to have the entire panel and from Scandal, and they're going to be talking about the final season.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
The wrap up.
Tony Goldwyn, Kerry Washington, Shonda Rhimes, the entire cast.
Everybody. So we'll definitely guys got to follow us because we'll be on hiatus when that happens. It'll be on the 18th.
That is true. So
we'll tweet and post pictures and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Keep you updated.
So basically, they're gonna make us all jealous. I got you guys.
Paris will be with us, but
Yeah.
the rest of your Scandal Squad will be there.
Yes.
We'll hold it down for you guys, get the scoop. Hopefully figure out what goes on in Shonda's head. But getting back to the episode,
Yes.
even just early on, like, just a side note, anyone was thrown off about how nice Liv was acting in the very beginning with Quinn?
It was just a side I haven't seen in a long time, if ever, almost. It was like this weird, like, Friday night girl talk, like, girls' night. I don't know.
She was milking it. I feel like she thought Quinn kind of knew something, so she was like, let me feed her with love and be the girlfriend so that she can, like, forget about anything she might have been thinking. But she didn't realize how far along Quinn was. I didn't realize how far along Quinn was.
I didn't either.
She, like, had it all. Like, bam, bam, she has all the information, so.
But do you think...
I didn't think that she knew that Quinn knew anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. She didn't realize how much Quinn
I don't
knew.
think that she knew anything.
At all.
Yeah,
at all.
because it was weird because we haven't seen it in a while, but we saw that same level of compassion on occasion with her pregnancy or when she was turning over the office to her and things like that. So we saw glimpses of it. But it was kind of sad because she was genuinely like, oh, I know why she's calling. She took the time to order this special pen from the Smithsonian. And, and then went there and like, it's okay, and giving her this pep, the Olivia pep talk that she didn't need. She's like, I know my husband's great or whatever,
Right.
She shut her down. But yeah, so it was very surprising. And I personally feel that Quinn overstepped.
In like telling Liv everything?
Not in telling her, but not taking heed to Olivia's meaning or purpose or fully understanding why she did it. She went into attack mode and was like, I know that you did it. It's wrong. I don't know the person that you are. That could be true. However, you didn't even give her the benefit of the doubt to even try to explain, to try to give you more information, to know that, B613 is involved in it, which she doesn't know that they're reactivated. Of course, only Huck does. But how dare you?
Listen, don't forget, this is pregnancy hormones Quinn on the verge of her wedding. I'm sure her emotions were like on 10. So I can see why she might take that fight or flight kind of reaction of like, oh my God, you did this, so I'm gonna, attack it head on. It in a way, I might be reaching, but it kind of reminded me of like when Liv would find out that Papa Pope was up to something, and she'd come and she'd yell at him and be like, I know what you're up to, and this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna beat you, and then Papa Pope always was a step ahead.
Right.
It was so weird seeing that being Liv and Quinn being her in that. That's what I thought of when I saw that scene.
Great comparison. I didn't think of that, but it's so true. It's
Just
like the tables have turned.
Like guns blazing, like, oh, I'm gonna figure this out. I was like, wow. And Liv was shook. I mean, just like shook as the word of the night. Shook as hell.
And just speaking of what you said, I was kind of in hate Liv mode, so I was like, you get her, Quinn. But you're absolutely right. I didn't even take the time to think about what was her purpose until actually Jake mentioned it to Melly, why they actually this actually could be a good thing, and we can't go to war because of this. And so, and even when he said that, I was still like, they're both evil.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. There was good from this.
So. It was a hard decision. One thing I didn't like is when Quinn was like, I have proof that you planted it. Okay, first off, Olivia was not on the tarmac. She was not the one that's actually like putting the bomb there. So you really don't have proof that Olivia did it. And I'm pretty sure you can't piece anyone back to her. So I wanted her to say, really? Who? Prove it. Number one. Number two, I loved when Quinn thought that she was telling Olivia off, and she was like, well, we're just gonna see what happens. And then she walks away, and Olivia's like, you will not get the last word. And she came back and was like, actually, and then that's when she's like, I'm your family, blah, blah, blah. And then she walked off, and I died on the inside because I'm like, no, Olivia is the walker offer. That's not a word, it is today.
Yeah.
But I love that.
I caught that too. I was like, she just won't have, she needs to have that last word.
Yeah.
And I thought Quinn was telling her off until Liv was like, oh no, and I'll see you at your wedding tomorrow. Goodbye.
Right.
Damn you, Liv. Damn. You can't let anyone else win.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. Well, this puts Liv into a tailspin. I mean, it throws everybody off because then Quinn is taken by, we don't know who just yet, but she's taken. She misses her wedding day, and little by little, you know, the wheels start turning. People are trying to figure out where she is, what happened. You know, Huck looks through her place. They're investigating footage, trying to look at the camera things, and on the inside, Liv is just like just mulling over this little secret. It's kind of funny watching her acting this episode, actually.
You were laughing. That's why I
was
laughed.
laughing a lot. I'm sorry. What do you guys think on that?
I didn't find it funny. I thought it was a little much, but until you started laughing at things, I was like, yes, because it's like, oh, she kept being like, oh, oh. Like, pull it together. You're supposed to be command. Can you see Papa Pope being all like, oh God, when I wonder, like, freak out, but in private, she was too obvious to me.
Mad props to Kerry Washington, because in this episode she was an actor acting like she was acting.
Yes.
You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? That's
Yeah.
why we saw it, because she had to act like she was terrified and like, oh no, Quinn, when she knew clearly what had happened.
No, I'm talking about when she was actually freaking out in like her office. She'd be like, you got it, like, Jake, you gotta get that footage. It was just she was so much angst, you know? And I kind of found it humorous too. Like, chill out, take a chill pill. You're supposed to get this.
Yeah, it was interesting. I did make a note about her being so like shaken this episode, and that's something that we never see in Olivia. She always has it together, but she had those moments private, and to me that was the realest, because she wasn't going to show it, and she literally, to me, we are witnessing her spiraling out of control based off of an action that she made in her executive decision, and now she's reaping the consequences for it that she can't control.
Yeah,
I think that's why the panic was there.
And it makes me think of, I'm not sure if it was the last episode or the one before, but Jake kind of made a comment of like, see, it'll get easier. But I don't think it's getting any easier for Liv. It seems like every like savage decision she makes, it's just showing more and more of like her not, like getting further and further away from the person that she was and becoming someone else.
Well, I was going to say, I also think she realized how good her team was. Yeah. Like, it was kind of like, oh, wow, like, you guys actually, I forgot, you know, because I feel like she hasn't really given them assignments lately. It was kind of like, I think that's also why she was so taken back with Quinn. It's like, oh, yeah, like, you were kind of my, like, little prodigy that I made, and, like, you're good at what you do because I was good at what I do. I think a lot of it was that realization, too, like, oh, my God, like, they can actually figure out what I'm doing.
Well, finally, like, PA finally stepped their game up. I guess they had to have someone get kidnapped before they really like were on it, and I was impressed too.
Yeah,
finally they're back.
It was. I love that. First off, this is why I love Jake, just FYI. I love that Jake is always there, and she can trust him more than anybody else and tell her secrets to, and he will handle it the way a man should. But also, also, I found it so intriguing how she was trying to help them find Quinn, but at the same time set up someone else for what she did. It was like a double entendre, like in my opinion, and it was exciting me because I was like, ooh, plant this and da-da-dee and blah, blah, blah. You know, I just love that little yin-yang back and forth that she was doing.
You know, you touched on something I want to talk about now, the fact that she was trying to plant what happened on someone else. Enter Fenton Glackland. Now, for the past few episodes, I've been like, what is his purpose? What's up with this guy? Like, why is he getting so close to Cyrus? This episode just makes me think the writers are totally toying with us because they dropped all these little gems that in a situation like this would make it seem like Fenton would be that guy, but he's not. So I'm still just like question mark about him.
I have a big question mark now because I thought there was some secret story we don't know. But he's a coward, like he said, and I'm like, so that's really him? There's no more? I hope not. Like, this is the love story, just we have to watch it? I don't know.
I mean,
I was hoping that he did have some, like, dark side. Maybe he still does.
You never know.
Everyone does.
Do you guys think, like, for a second, like a quick second, that he might actually be involved with anything?
Not with this particularly, no.
No, I thought he was kind of annoying trying to get into the meetings, and you know, the same like last week when he was there on his phone. It's like, why? Like, this isn't a playground, you know, this isn't an internship. Like, let the politics do their business. And I was irritated for half a second when Cyrus acted like he was going to give him permission. I was like, oh, this bedside talk, like, I can't.
Turned around like, oh, really?
No, really?
No, like, really? Cyrus? Like,
Shout out, by the way, to everyone in our live chat that's drinking. So many of y'all like, I have a drink.
Oh yeah, red wine on
deck.
Oh, John Ham
Shout
says he has a 102-degree
out.
fever. I feel you. I'm a little under the weather too.
Oh.
But you're here watching us. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Red wine on deck.
I didn't think that Glackland was involved at all, but I loved how things were piecing together. Well, it's like the sinister side of me loved how things were being pieced together. Like, ooh, but I was like, I don't want to ruin this man's life. And to me, there are too many sacrifices to cover up this story. Like, sure, we don't like that Yasmin died and that the president died. However, the greater America, the greater republic is saving the people. So sometimes there are sacrificial lambs, you know. But then to try to ruin all these other people's lives to cover up that one lie, too much. Hashtag too much.
And it's also too much because one of the things that could be sacrificed is Liv's relationship with Melly. Because I feel like this episode we really see Melly kind of like in her own head, and while processing the grief of what happened, I think she's really starting to reevaluate like who she can trust. And I think we've seen like breadcrumbs of that from last episode to this episode. Because even when, you know, she tries to ask Jake to take care of things off the books, and his response to her, I think, made her realize that like she really is alone at the top. Because as much as she may think she can pull the strings on Liv and Jake, she really can't.
Right.
And I just thought that was interesting this episode because, like you said, Liv's doing all of this to cover this up. Like, when it does come out and, you know, what if Melly finds out? It's like, you did all of this to keep me from finding out, when it probably would have, I think it would just be easier for her to tell her. You don't think so?
I don't. You know, if it was anything else, this lady has strong feelings for this man, and her sulking and her mourning, her unprofessionalism across the table, hunchback like this as you're conducting a presidential meeting. I just felt like she was just in her feelings too much. And as we've seen, a pattern of Melly is making decisions based off of her heart and not her head. So, but you are so right, Christine. If this comes out, she's done with Olivia. That would be the second man that Olivia has, well, the third man that Olivia has X'd out of her life, Fitz, Marcus, and now President Rashad.
Not to mention she actually killed Andrew with her
I was
hand.
gonna say,
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, all the men.
I forgot that they were entangled, but he was crap.
I mean, by that point, she was done with him, but still, like, every man that Melly has touched, Liv has figured out a way to do something. But okay, so then that makes me think, like, is the season building up to those two going head to head at some point? Like,
ooh,
that's interesting.
I don't know.
I would be here for that though. I think Olivia would be the winner. I mean, come on. I was gonna say who would win, but come on.
Like, I get what you're saying, but I still think, like, being hurt later and finding it out through some other way is gonna be way worse for Liv. I think she should just, like, flex a little, tell Melly what it is, and figure out a way to keep pulling the strings, because
she would never trust. I honestly don't think that Melly would ever trust her again, even if she was to tell her, because she already made the decision. That was her biggest point last week. Don't make decisions without consulting me.
Yeah. That is true.
It's deep.
Oh,
That is so deep.
my wheels are turning right now.
The other side notes to this episode, at least one couple kind of worked it out. David and Abby. I feel like that's just like such a minor storyline at this point, but figured honorable mention for all the David and Abby fans out there. And poor Charlie, can we talk about how messed up he is from Quinn leaving?
Yeah, he's a hot mess.
It's funny because up until like midway through the episode, I thought he was actually being ultra calm. I was like, she's gone, and he's like, he seems kind of upset, but it was until he went and they had someone to technically blame, and they got Glackland. That's when we saw Charlie come out and be, the Charlie we know, and try and. I'm really still surprised he started with the fruit first, but
I know. Normal Charlie wouldn't have started with fruit, but they needed to keep him alive, so.
Yeah.
I was like, really, the oranges?
I felt really bad for him this episode, guys.
I did too. And,
because I feel
That
like,
was rough.
Quinn making decisions without him, like, that's gotta hurt. They got a kid on the way. That's just.
And she's too pregnant for all this.
She is. This episode, I really saw how pregnant she was. I was like, damn,
that's
real.
Yeah.
She's pregnant.
But go ahead. No.
No. Well, I was gonna ask a question. So if you have...
Well, just off of what Christine was saying. In all honesty, I feel like she didn't run off. I mean, now because we know at the end that she actually was kidnapped, she didn't run off to this mission. She was collecting things, and perhaps she did not tell Charlie to protect Liv until she was sure about the decision that she wanted to make. You know, they showed her at the beginning playing with the ring, kind of contemplating whether or not, like, what she wanted to do exactly. But that is weird, just if she got captured in the elevator at QPA is what they said?
QPA,
then why would her ring be clean?
That was what I was going to ask.
Oh, really?
I think that's so weird. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Because I was like, that was my disconnect at the end. I was like, well, wait, if she was in the elevator with her wedding dress, why would she have left her ring? That's just, that's my question.
Weird. I think, well, honestly, I was like, oh, well, she literally is setting up Olivia for a downfall. Like, I thought that she went in hiding or whatever, and she planted these things because she knows how their minds work. It's her team. So she put things in place to make Olivia sweat and to kind of bust herself. So now that ending kind of threw me off.
But do you not think, though, that ending could be something else also planted by her? She knows how to hack and erase footage. She couldn't make it look like she was taken.
That too. So, all right. I mean, it's not prediction time, but what do you guys think happened to Quinn?
I mean, we're kind of getting around that time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I from the teaser at the end, I have to believe Papa Pope has something to do with this. Either he helped Quinn in one way or another, or it could maybe be coming in at the end to save the day. Who knows? But I think it has to do with him in one way or another. And I also don't think that Curtis is not going to stop looking. And I think he might pose a problem for the team.
Oh, yeah. He said he wasn't.
You're right.
Yeah, he was like, no.
What are your thoughts?
I was going to say, do you think there's a chance that Jake's involved and went against Olivia?
Oh.
All of it can be on the table.
That's
I don't
deep.
think
That's
that
deep.
way, but it could be.
But in my heart.
I mean, I don't want it to be true, but I think part of me is like, that's the only logical thing that makes sense. If like Jake was like, kind of took, it's almost like the reverse of Olivia and Melly. He's like kind of being the Olivia and like, your heart's in this because it's Quinn, like, and she's actually missing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take like reins on this, or I guess like before, but you know, kind of like, I'm going to handle this and like, if she's like a problem, you know, like I'm going to take her out of the equation.
Yeah, because he has more of the B613 mindset of like the
That's
greater good.
fascinating.
Because he was the one handing her the envelopes and bringing her information.
Right.
He could be curating that information.
Well, and I mean, I don't think, but let's play with it. And to your point, Jake did secretly take Jennifer when we thought that Jennifer was dead.
Ooh, yes.
And he would, I mean, what would make sense for this to happen is if he took Quinn long enough to get QPA involved to unravel what she actually found. Therefore, they can know where she stands and how much information she has and destroy it before releasing her. And then if she comes out to say, this is what I have, it's like, no, you don't.
Right.
So that in my opinion, that would be how that would work. But I don't think that Jake is involved. I agree with you, Christine, that Papa Pope has something to do with it. And I think it's to your second point, he's trying to save. Maybe he found out that Quinn was about to expose Olivia.
Yeah.
And he intercepted.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, she was one of his own when, they were all under B613. He's probably like, come here, let me help you. Who knows? Whatever.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Oh no. Do we have any shady boots moments for this episode, guys? I think I had one actually.
Absolutely.
Mine was.
Oh, I think she's gonna play it.
Yes.
Walk all over you. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I love this.
Oh, we can see the video
right now. Oh my god.
All these dance moves in this video, I can't.
Oh my god.
Guys, Nancy
We need to
Sinatra.
stop watching this video. All right, Nancy Sinatra.
All right. Mine was just Jake's line to Melly about, when I'm off the clock, I don't work for you. That was a little shady.
Fire.
Fire.
That was fire.
Flames.
I was totally here for that.
Mine was with Marcus speaking to Melly, And he just casually slipped this in. He's like, I mean, what's the issue other than your ego? I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, really, because that is the issue, her ego. So that was my shady boots.
Yeah, mine was, I love that one, but I had a backup. Marcus. Yeah, Marcus, but another line when he was like, yeah, it is lonely at the top. Anything else? Like, he was like, can I go now?
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
Yeah.
He could have been like, it is lonely, you don't meet it. You know, he could have, no, but he
Yeah.
was like,
No.
am I dismissed after being summoned?
Exactly. That was my point. Like, you summoning me here because your butt hurt, your boo died, like, whatever.
Your butt hurt, your boo died.
He never cared. He's like, bye, Rashad. Like, okay,
Okay.
move
Whatever.
over it.
I know,
mean, his
that was
point
mine
right,
too.
though. Was it, Marcus?
Yeah, I wrote, why are you making this so complicated?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
So
He
true.
kept it real.
And then after that, I wrote, Melly, act like a president. She's not acting like a president.
It's
She's
very
not.
true.
Melly's
I love the demands.
very much like a teenage girl right now who's just pissed. I mean, it's bigger than that, but, you know,
Yeah.
just her demeanor.
But just a side note, Huck's been gone for like multiple episodes, but he made a great return. And honestly, he's like the real MVP in this episode to me. I mean, he really showed up. When
That's very cute.
Quinn was missing, he went. And what I loved is that he was like, to me, he was channeling when Olivia went missing, and he's like, this will not happen again. Like, I am not going to fully search this apartment and look up under every crevices, because he missed the fact that Olivia was in the hallway across from him. So I love that. And then, of course, he's the one that found Charlie right before he went to Chop Shop Blackland. He was so like, these are where the macaroons go, and I have the flowers, and, you know,
So
here's
cute.
the ring. And then finally, Charlie needed that drink at the end, so he walked in with that bottle. I was like, look at you, Huck.
Yeah.
Really
You're just
be-
doing it.
He really was.
Yeah.
Well, you know, someone who was noticeably absent from this episode was Fitz. And I'm wondering, this is a very, very out there theory.
Ooh, yeah, throw it,
Don't
girl.
quote me on it.
Do
JK,
it.
it's online. So it's quoting me. What if Quinn felt like Liv was so out of control that the only person who could reel her in is maybe Fitz? Because he said he wasn't leaving and going back to Vermont until, you know, he saw.
But he had to leave.
Oh wait, he did leave. I'm sorry. Am I
Yeah.
forgetting something?
Melly with her, like, you must go.
Right. Well, I was gonna say, what if Quinn reached out to him somehow? But now that seems really far fetched. So I'm gonna take that back.
Just kidding.
Just kidding, guys. So much happens. It's like hard to process.
Yeah. There's a lot.
So yeah, we still don't know the deal with Quinn, and something tells me we're not gonna find out next week. To be really honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it's going to be the cliffhanger of the...
I do. I think that we will. I think,
Yeah.
and I think they're gonna give us a new cliffhanger. I think that they're finally like developing this thing. You know, it's like it was a slow roll, but now we get going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what
I
that
hope
example
so.
was, but yeah.
I hope so, because I mean, I didn't think this was my favorite episode, but it's the first time, like you were saying, that I was like, yeah, come on, I like the action.
Yeah.
So I hope this keeps going on. I like feeling like that. Extreme anxiety.
Super anxiety.
I'm curious if they're gonna roll Mama Pope back in this final season.
Ooh, I've been
You know?
wondering that too, actually.
Because she always comes at the most random times.
She
And
does.
it's like, ooh.
What if we get a scene with Steven from Russia? Like, what if we just bring back everybody?
Oh,
Like,
I wish they would. They need to bring back Steven.
Yeah, I would be
Yeah.
happy about that.
you never know.
Resurrect Harrison.
I'm not putting anything past Shonda. Maybe
Just for
accept
the
that.
fun.
That's a little much.
I know.
So I think
Wishful thinking.
we really broke down this episode, guys.
Yeah.
Any predictions, anyone? Other than what we talked about?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
You guys let us know your predictions in the chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kimberly Mayfield says Quinn is hostage till that baby pops. Ooh, what do you guys think it's gonna be, a boy or girl?
I never even thought about it, actually.
Girl.
Girl.
I'm thinking boy, so Charlie can feel like little Charlie.
I'm thinking girl. There's a lot of strong female characters in this show. I'm gonna say
I'm
girl.
thinking girl for almost the opposite reason. Like Charlie, like if he had a little like sweet baby girl, he'd like change
melt,
almost.
yeah. I can see that.
I don't know.
She's like,
I never gave any
Not
thought.
important to the
Never
plot.
cared. No, just kidding. But I don't know how far along. I mean, I guess it depends on how far
starting
along
to pop.
she actually is in real life, and then we can determine if she's
true.
still gonna be
She
pregnant throughout the show.
looks pretty pregnant.
Oh, speaking of popping,
She could be twins.
Kimberly
Could have
Mayfield,
twins.
she said Quinn is hostage until the baby pops.
yeah.
So she's gonna come back with the baby. You guys think that's possible?
So, well, Watcher
No.
Carter says, I never thought about Quinn setting Liv up. What do you mean? Like, all together?
Like perhaps setting her up, as in like exposing her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because normally, I mean, that's true for Quinn's characteristic. Because normally, if Olivia's in a bind, Quinn is doing anything and everything blindly. Like, what do you need from me to do? I'm here. I don't need to know. Just boom.
And then we'll call her out later, like, hey.
Yeah, But yeah, I don't.
What
don't
if Quinn
know.
is faking this whole thing?
Yeah.
What would be her motive for
I don't
faking
know.
it?
But I've been thinking in the back of my
No,
head.
it's a good thought. I don't know how
Yeah.
to flesh it out.
I
Well,
don't either.
yeah, like faking, like her kidnapping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be to. I kind of said something about this earlier, so that she could set Olivia up to expose
Right.
what she's doing or expose herself. She left the ring. She left a file that said vows, but it has all of these, images and photos and research, as if no one was going to click on it. It was just too. I mean, her computer wasn't locked. There's just so many security things. I'm like, yeah, you're smarter than this.
That's true. And then all those files just pop up. Like, she just
Yeah.
left them willy-nilly, no encrypted
Voicemails.
anything. Like, they do this for a living.
Yeah, it's just a little too suspicious. So it wouldn't surprise me if she did actually.
I just,
Take her home
yeah, I
kidnapping,
just
yeah.
feel it in my gut.
Because the question would be, honestly, who would kidnap her?
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
I keep thinking. I'm like,
Who knew
no
that
one
she
would have
knew?
done this.
Yeah.
Because no
And
one
our
would have
QPA.
known that she's on to her.
And who she's
So I
on to
think
is
she's
Olivia and Jake.
On
and
to Olivia
they're
by
freaking out.
Yeah, and who stands to gain by, like, taking her out of the picture? Only Liv would to shut her up. So, like, wow, that's a great point.
I'm sticking to that. That's my prediction.
Unless Olivia took her.
And is playing, like, some
Yeah,
serious
that would be
inception.
that would be a triple.
Wow, we are
Yeah.
getting so into
No,
this.
We're going into a rabbit hole, guys.
Well, she found out, and
Well, you did say she was good at acting, like she was acting. So
right, and I think back to those. I don't know why they stand out to me. Those voicemails that she was leaving. Hey, Quinn, checking in on you. Are you okay? Give me a call back. They were so like, okay, are you almost here? It was like she was trying to create a record of being sincere to check in on her, but perhaps
that is so true. Those voicemails were so unnatural.
I have to,
And I just don't think she would naturally make those calls.
Right.
It almost did feel weird now that I think about it.
It was
again.
either that or she was being condescending, trying to give a message like, "Hey, girl, you need to call me back," while still trying to be nice. I need to exercise this thought. I won't be able to
That
do
one's
it.
a good thought too.
Yeah, I gotta think about it more.
Gosh.
But wow,
That voicemail.
this is deep.
Yeah.
Very deep,
is
guys.
deep.
Oh
This
my
is deep.
god. Well, you know how
Yeah.
we do here. We try and think of the craziest theories. Jessica's usually right. It's kind of crazy. Like, were you secretly in the writer's room? I don't know,
My
but
mind is crazy.
well, I think that's it for this week, guys. Like I said, I'm sticking by my thought that this may not be wrapped up all by next week, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And then after next week, we'll be off for quite some time, guys. So just, rewatch our old episodes. Catch up.
Yes.
Until we can see you again. Tweet us. And a reminder that we will be going to the Vulture Festival. So we'll bring you guys lots of great content from there and hopefully figure out what's in store for season 7 without spoiling
Part
too
2.
much, I guess.
Yeah.
But you guys can find me on social media at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
I'm Tessa Cevaal, and you guys can find me on all social media at Tessa_Cevaal.
I'm Parris Rose. You can find me at Parris Rose everywhere and Parris Rose TV on Twitter.
Oh yeah, and I'm Jessica Williams. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. Drive safely.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.